Hi, I'm Jen,
I'm Brooke.
and we're going to talk about a little bit of detail and cover the punch, okay, and the fist, okay, because you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about, especially the last part, which is what Hawkins Chung calls the setting the grenade, okay? So we're going to break it down a little bit, get into a little bit of detail, okay? Now, I know when you guys practice your punch, hold the focus mitt for me, Brooke. Now, I know that when you see a focus mitt, okay, first thing comes to mind is that you guys really want to hit it hard, okay? But you got to get that out of your head, okay? You have to practice, first and foremost, always maintain your structure, okay? So, when you see a focus mitt, okay, when you're punching, okay, I extend my hand out, okay, but I do this action at the very end, okay? You understand? So, in other words, I do the complete punch and I end right here, right? Okay? Now, some of you guys practice like this, okay? And you have to understand that when you're doing this, you're doing the whole punch. You have to understand that this is not the target. This is not your opponent, okay? Because what happens is that this, you practice like this, you think this is your target, right? This is the end target. So you finish or finalize the punch here. And then when you get to your training with your partner, you do the same thing. See, I finalize, okay, here. But this is not right, okay? This is not where your opponent is going to be. Actually, your opponent will be halfway between the focus mitt and yourself. So actually, your first initial contact will be here, right here. Your opponent will be right here, okay? Then you extend and finish a punch, okay, to get to this point, okay? So I want you guys to understand that your opponent is not over here at the focus mitt. When you're training like this, okay, your opponent is actually in between. So this is the initial contact, okay? So you have to keep that in mind when you're training on a focus mitt, okay? Now, Brooke's going to show you that first initial contact, okay? So what we're doing is from here, she's going to come up and she's going to, this is called setting the nail, set the nail. So she sets the nail, okay? Now, if you look, okay, she's making contact with basically this middle knuckle, or these two knuckles, okay? The ring finger and the middle knuckle. Okay, so when she makes contact, okay, those two knuckles, you notice she's not making contact with the fist, okay? This is not right, okay? You make contact with basically the two knuckles, okay? The middle knuckle and the ring finger, okay? And you notice that this part of her hand not touching the mitt, okay? This is called setting the nail, okay? She's now set the nail, okay? Now she's ready to use the hammer, okay? So the hammer is what? The hammer is the body, right? Okay? So now from here, she's going to extend, using her hip, extending the strong elbow, and you notice now she rolls to the bottom two knuckles. See that? Now she's there. You notice that she's still not making contact with any other part of the hand. Okay? Focusing primarily on just the two knuckles. So there's space here. Okay? And then she squeezes like she's squeezing an egg. Okay? Then she instantly has to relax. Okay? And then she can bring the hand back. Okay? So I'm giving you kind of a point of reference of what to hit. The biggest mistake I see people do is when they set the nail, but they use the whole fist like this. Okay? Then they try to extend to the fist, but they roll. Okay? But they can't. They don't focus on their hitting with just the knuckles. They end up using most of the fist. Okay? And we don't want that. We want your entire body frame, okay, to end at those two bottom knuckles, or basically those three knuckles. Okay? Your middle knuckle on down to your pinky. So everything gets concentrated to that point. Okay? You got it? So first part, set the nail. Set the nail. Go ahead. Set the nail. All right? Okay? Now she uses her body behind the elbow and she extends the hand and she rolls to the bottom two knuckles. Right here. Okay? Okay? Another mistake I see people do is that they set the nail, which is good. Okay? But then when they go to extend the punch, their hand becomes vertical. Go ahead, set the grenade. But the hand, see, in other words, the hand rolls back like this as they punch. See this? So it goes, they start off good. But then when they punch, they straighten the fist this way. Okay, this is not right. Okay? You got it? Your elbow's going to end up coming out. Okay? And this, it's too vertical. This fist is too vertical. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you don't want a straight up and down fist like this, okay? You want it to be cockeyed a little bit at an angle, okay? So if your hands are, if you're looking at me, right? When we punch, you should never be like this, okay? It should always be like this, okay? And my senior at Hawkins, his name is Phil. And he explained it to me one time really, really well. And that's basically, he says, if you do this right, he says, it makes a heart shape. It makes a heart. Okay? So I thought that was really interesting. So this, you want this position, okay, at the very end of your punch. Okay? You don't want this position. Okay? This is not right. This position. You want this heart shape, okay, on either side of the hand. This heart shape. Okay? And the sinking action. Okay? All right. So one more time. She's going to punch. She's going to set the nail. Set the nail. And that means those two, primarily the middle knuckle. Okay? She touches. Okay? So then from here, she's going to roll to and extend the punch, and she's going to roll to the bottom two. Okay? You got it? All right? So going back to the focus mitt training. Okay? If I go like this and she goes to fully, let's say she just goes all the way out and she ends here with the finish. Okay? See that? Okay? Go ahead. Punch. Okay? This is how most of you guys train. Okay? Then other hand. Alright? Stay like that. Okay? In other words, by the time she gets to this pad, the focus mitt, her punch is done. She's already extended, fully extended. She's already set the grenade, right? The punch is over. Basically, it's over, right? Okay? This is why you got to get out of the habit of training like this. The best way to train, in my opinion, is to get closer to your partner, or your partner gets closer to you, okay? Okay? Like if Brooke's going to hold it here like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is, when I come to punch, okay, I'm so close to her, right, that I just do this. See? I just set the nail. See that? I'm just touching with the knuckles, the two knuckles. Can I set? There's no power here. I'm just setting it. Okay? Like the infomercial, right? That commercial. You set it and forget it, right? Is it set it and forget it? Brooke liked that one. Okay. All right. So you set it, and then you forget it, right? But we don't forget it, okay? So from here, from this point, now I add the body and the punch and everything from the elbow, and I extend, right? And I set the grenade. See, now, in other words, I haven't, Hawkins says it's like firing a bullet, okay? If you hold it here, and I go like this, and I get back a little bit, okay? And then I fully extend, right? See? But I've already fired the bullet. You understand? I can't go anymore. I can't do anymore. So now I have to pull it back to fire again. Okay? But see, I'm just barely making contact with the end of my punch. This is no good. You want to move up close to your opponent, set the grenade. See? Set the grenade. Set the grenade, and then you finish or fire the bullet. Fire the bullet. That means she moves. Okay? So that's how you should train. Okay? In other words, your punch should move your partner. If I only practice like this, okay, she doesn't move. I'm firing, but I'm finishing at the pad. You don't want to do that. Okay? You want to move up, set the grenade, launch the bullet. Okay? So you want to practice like that. That way you learn proper punching mechanics. Okay? So that if Brooke punches, you don't punch. You don't get in the habit of going like this, right? And then like this. Okay? I fire the bullet, but this is not right distance for me. I end up training with a wrong sense of distance. Okay? So you don't want to hurt your partner. Okay? So when she punches, okay, you just want to come up and even just like this. See? I'm still bent. Okay? Right? I just make just a little bit of contact, but I haven't fired yet. Okay? Right? And that's fine. Okay, you don't need to hurt each other. So, but you just learn to set the nail. Okay? Learn to set the nail. Okay? If I go like this and I'm fully extended punch, if I'm already fully extended, I'm done. This punch is done. It's over with. This punch I have no more power in the sand anymore. Okay? So when you're practicing, make sure you understand that. I mean, there are times to practice, okay, on a focus mitt and get full extension. Okay? This teaches you full extension, right? Okay? And that's good training. But you have to understand that is not your contact point. Your contact point is actually here. This is where I would meet the opponent. This is where I would finish the opponent. You got it? So you have to keep that in mind when you're training. Your partner is here, not over here, when you're hitting the focus mitt like this. Okay? What are some other mistakes I see people doing? Okay, so we covered a little bit of the fist. Okay? Also, okay, when Brooke punches, and she comes out. Okay? She set the grenade, set it. Now, she's going to fire the bullet. When she fires the bullet, a lot of people, they push the back away. See? Like this. Okay? Or they hunch the back like this when they punch. Punch. And see? Yeah. They go like, they go like this, and then they punch, they go like this. See? Okay? Okay. This is also wrong. Okay? But I see that a lot. Alright? So what do you want to do? You do want to go 3 directions. Okay? So Brooke's going to show you. She sets the grenade. Okay? Now, you punch, your knees, your legs have to drop. That's 1. Okay? Why? Because you have to get underneath me. This is the shovel method. This is the shovel concept, right? So she has to drop. Okay? That means she's underneath my center of gravity. Okay? 2 is the back does have to go backwards, but not like this. Okay? Just has to straighten, and you have to feel it getting a little bit round, but don't exaggerate this movement. Okay? Right? So her back is going that away, her center of gravity is going down, right? And her hip is going up and forward, okay? Forward and up, okay? And launching the punch, firing the weapon, okay? Firing the bullet. So she go ahead. Yeah, that's it. Not too much. Don't exaggerate, and sink more. That's it. And fire the bullet. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay? You got it? So when you're practicing, you have to remember those. You're not just punching straight forward. Okay? You have to have also energy going backwards. Okay? And at the same time you're going forward, I'm going backwards. And at the same time I'm going backwards, I'm also going down. Boom. Okay? So those 3 things, those 3 directions you have to focus on. Okay? Also the fist action is very important. Okay? The wrist. Okay? The wrist. This is called setting the grenade when I do this. Okay? That's also very important. Okay? So make sure at the end of your punch, your hand is like this. Okay? This is same as the open hand. Okay? The reason why we do this, okay, is that in this position, it's very stable. Okay? If you push it in my hand, I can't go back anymore. Okay? There's no play in the wrist. This is locked. You understand? I just close the fist. Okay? That's the end of your punch. Okay? It starts off like this, and then it finishes like this. Drop. Drop. See? Because now from this drop position, I can hold your entire weight because my wrist cannot move. If I do this, and you push, right, my hand is vertical, and I finish the punch like this, there's a lot of play in the wrist, okay? And it's going to hurt you if you hit someone and they push into you and they snap your wrist. You want no play in the wrist. So that's how come we drop it like that. We punch forward and we get to this position. Now the wrist is locked. It's the same as the open palm. The palm in this position is very strong. Everybody knows that, right? This position, okay? So the fist is no different, okay? The last thing is letting go. Letting go, okay? This one is also very important, is this concept, okay? It comes from your form, okay? From the Selim Tao form, and it's this section. When you start doing this, okay? It's letting go. You let go of any energy, tension in your arm. You let it go. You let it go, right? Okay? Now, what does that mean? Okay. If you punch, okay, let's say I'm square, right? Okay, and I punch as hard as I can, and you guys should try this also, okay? And I want you to squeeze and tighten everything, right? And punch as hard as you can, and I want you to keep that hand tight, squeeze, right? Okay, I tell you guys to squeeze, at the very end, squeeze and don't let go, okay? But punch as hard as you can and hold it, ready? Okay, if I do that, and I go, okay, and try it as hard as you can, okay? Don't move the shoulders, but hold it, right? If you do it, you're going to feel a vibration, boom, boom, right? It's going to vibrate your body like this. You'll feel it, okay? If it vibrates, if you feel more than 2 vibrations, that means you're holding on to that energy too much, okay? So what do you have to do? When you punch, you instantly have to let it go. You got to let it go. You have to let it go, okay? You have to completely relax, okay? So you punch, right? But as soon as the punch is done, you let it go. If you feel more than 2 shakes, your 2 vibrations, right, means you're still not relaxed enough. You have to let go faster until it becomes so natural that you don't feel any vibration in the arm. Okay? So try that. Okay? Try it, practice that. Okay? That way you don't get the rebound action back into your own fist and then you end up getting uprooted. Okay? So practice those things. Okay? We'll go into more stuff, more punching detail in the future, but I just want to kind of gloss over some of the detail, especially with the fist, since a lot of questions have been coming up. Okay? So practice right, practice the structure, practice the shovel concept, which is very, very important, okay? And practice the correct way of holding and letting go of energy in the hand, okay? And the correct position, okay? Thank you very much, and Brooke and I will see you soon, and Julius on camera, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.